Well, Wendy, Wendy, Wendy. Hmm. I'm stopping through. If you guys know what that is, not Wendy from Adam's Family, honey. Let's get it together, okay? Flashback, flashback. Okay, so that's when Whitney Houston and Wendy Williams had their conversation. And remember, they were like, Whitney, Whitney. Wendy was like, Whitney, Whitney. And Whitney was like, Wendy, Wendy. That was so cute to see the little caddies go back and forth. But I want to stop by here, y'all, and of course, talk about some stuff. Happy full moon. And y'all, I am pooped. Okay. So excuse me. Excuse me. But I'm pooped. I'm really, because it's the beginning of the month, I'm really going to be working on the next half of this year to pace myself, prioritize, give myself a time limit on what is the prioritization, and then we move into other stuff. Because I feel like sometimes, right? I feel like, and it's not even like business or business wise, this is sometimes like personal stuff. I feel like there's a lot. Like there's always something that has to be done. And I'm like, fuck, y'all. And I've always been an independent person. I've always been that person to take care of business. But I feel like sometimes it just be a lot going on to where, girl, I want to kind of go back to how it was back in the day where, girl, I would have things organized a certain way and I would do things a certain way and everything else just fall on the wayside. Sometimes people heard from me, once a month. Sometimes they heard from me once a week, once every 2 weeks. And I'm like, until I'm where I want to be at, that's what I'm going to be striving for the end of this year, going into even the first quarter of next year. And so either way, I'm always saying I'm going to come out and do certain things with you all or for you all. And y'all be caught up in doing other shit, living my life be lifing, right? And so either way, I want to stop right here and I want to just say two things. I was supposed to be mailing off a shea butter and oil order today. It's actually supposed to be, today. But in the midst of all this stuff, I literally had to pick up one of my cars from this job, and then I got to go drop off another one because, of course, it's something like the fuel injector. It's something. So I got to deal with that tomorrow. And then, of course, and once again, I hope people are, I'm thinking like after the 14th, like I hope people don't take it personal when I don't answer phone calls or text messages, baby, because I'm like, I feel like I'm being stretched around, if that makes sense. And so I need to focus, like I said, on what's at hand, like this, the shea oil and shit. And like I said, I feel like there's just shit be jumping out. Okay. So like I said, I gotta go take another card tomorrow. That's going to take time. I do not like overdoing myself. And so either way, Wednesday, I'll be sending out your product. Now, I will send an email over, but right now I'm thinking about it. There was something that I was doing earlier this year, and I believe I raffled off this item, and I also was giving it to people who joined this event, like an early bird. And either way, someone messaged me. This was maybe like 3-4 months ago. And they said, if I am getting that oil, this is where you're going to send oil to. I know it was tonka bean, vanilla, and sandalwood. But what was this oil? What was this oil, y'all? I've done so many oils. I've done so many balms and magical creams, y'all. I mean, as far as like orders being placed. And so I don't even remember. Of course, let me know. Like I said, if anybody can remember, let me know. Comment under the video, send me a DM to let me know what this oil is. So that way I could send off that oil with your product. Okay, that you actually pay for your product, you actually pay for it. So that is that, y'all. I hope this full moon has been very good and very productive for y'all. Like I said, it's been very productive for me, very great for me. I'm not complaining. I love staying busy. And yes, I will say this too, y'all. Something I came across, right, and I'm not gonna keep y'all too long because I had a very long day. And like even right now, I feel like I'm like sleep, but I'm up. If that makes sense. Um, Something I came across, and I think I posted this on the story, y'all, like a couple of weeks ago. Could have even been like a week ago, where I said kudos to Khloe Kardashian. I want to say this, right? Out of all the Kardashians, I've always liked Khloe out of all of them. Khloe always gave me like the down to earth one, the one that doesn't give me like racist, sexist, homophobia, transphobic. Like I just get that this is an open minded, easygoing person. I've always had a love for her. And I always tell people this, regardless of people's political views, regardless of people's religious views, I'm going to tell people treat me like that. There's no collectiveness because I've been mistreated. I've been dogged out by, certain political parties as well as certain people who have certain lifestyles. And so because somebody wants to vote for or have a religious preference that I don't agree with, you know what I mean? Who am I to be like, well, I don't fuck with them? That's not how life works. And so with that being said, it was brought to my attention that Khloe Kardashian is taking care of Tristan Thomas or Thompson's um, brother who cannot take care of himself, and she has full custody of him. And I brought it to someone, I know, and they're like, yeah, well, this is their, kid's uncle. But I'm like, that don't mean shit. I know a lot of people that have children with a man or with a woman, and they have a brother or a cousin or even a stepson that is disabled, and they're not willing to take care of, or they're not trying to take care of that person. The idea that this person decided to use to me of this person. She's fully taking care of this person. She's fully using her finance to take care of this. She's not asking for help. And like I said, to me, that's beautiful. To me, that's powerful. To me, that earns a place in my heart. I will forever, unless of course this person does something to me personally, have respect for Khloe Kardashian, because of course, like I said, she did not have to do that. She doesn't have to do it, and she's doing it. People with special needs, I have a love for, and I always weaker people who don't really have a voice to speak for themselves, people who don't really, who can really take care of themselves. I have a soft spot for them, regardless of how direct and strong I come off. Like these people, these experiences, it makes me think. It makes me, think about my life and to have gratitude for my life and my experiences. And so, like I said, going into that right there was amazing to me, y'all. I think I cried like a baby when I saw this, footage of her with this guy. And I just thought to myself, this is somebody who's been bullied. This is somebody who's been disrespected. This is somebody who's been attacked. This is somebody who was made fun of, called out her name. This is somebody who grew up with a lot of insecurities. And for this person to still have room in their heart to take care of another person without it being asked, without expecting anything in return. Like I said, to me, that is goddess energy. To me, that is God's energy. To me, that is beyond what a human would do. Because like I said, there's mothers that abandon their children. There's fathers that abandon their children. There's brothers and sisters that abandon their brothers and sisters, and so forth and so forth. And so for a complete stranger to do it, like I said, salute, kudos, And yes, and this even goes into like the private matters, and we talk about this. Police officers, firemen, sheriffs, judges, going into even into doctors and going into like lawyers, and most importantly, the nurses. These are people that I salute. These are people that take care of people, and even if it goes against their beliefs or their personal ideas, they put all that to the side when they step into that uniform, when they do things. And of course, I'm talking about the police officers. I'm talking about the people in their uniforms that put people first because they're servants to people. Like those people, like I said, get nothing but respect for me. I think about the people a lot. I say, if we can, there's a special time every single day that I say a prayer out there for the nurses, the doctors, the lawyers, the teachers, the people that are taking care of other people effortlessly. And regardless of what type of check is attached to it, because of course there's other things these people could have been doing to get this check. Okay, so let's not get this, misconstrued or misunderstood. There's other things these people could have did to get a check, but they decided to sit down or to put their life on hold to take care of other people. And so, like that, I say a prayer for these people every single day. And for those who tap into the energy, tap into the energy. Like I said, these are the heroes. These are the everyday heroes. And of course, the veterans, of course, the people who sacrificed and most importantly, the family of these veterans, the family, y'all, what I just like, what I think about, that just, and sometimes it's like an obsessive thing for me. And I honestly don't know why, right? But sometimes I would think about the family who children got drafted off, in the first war and the second war, and they never came back home. The kids never came back home. And so I'm like, the people who sacrificed their life, who was drafted, who could have, did other things, even though they were, drafted, they were forced to go, they still could have, did certain things and ended up in jail or did far more worse things. But the heroes outside of them is their family. Their family, oh my God. That's just, it's like, it's so deep to think about that. And it's been like, since I can remember, I think about that a lot. Like I said, it's like an obsessive thing. When I think of effort, when I think of unconditional love, when I think of sacrifice, the ultimate sacrifice, I think of the mothers and the fathers who had their sons ripped from them to go fight for this country. Like, that's what I think about. I think about the people who voluntarily joined. They were not drafted, but they voluntarily joined, and they left behind their family and their friends and lovers to go serve for this country. Like, I think about these situations. And like I said, when it comes to the ultimate sacrifice, when it comes to the ultimate saluting and people who will always have my respect are those people. And I don't got to know those people. And they don't have to know that I have respect for them either. But like I said, I think about them and I pray for them and I say, good things for them, and I pushed out there in the universe, and I know that God will send it where it needs to go. And even if these people are long gone, because of course, World War I and World War II was 50 plus years ago. A lot of these people are no longer here. So even though they're not here, their energy, their experience is still in this realm. And it's like I said, I still bless it. I still bless that experience. And so, yes, like I said, for the Wonder Medic, come on in here with the shea butter. Like I said, I do know there's the oil earlier this year. I don't remember what it is. Maybe you can help me out. Maybe somebody else can help me out on that. Okay, I don't know. And like I said, kudos to Khloe Kardashian, and also kudos to all of the men and women out there who are in uniform, who service the people, who, regardless of what they're going through in life, still show up and show out. Because I know a lot of you need a hug. A lot of you need a hug. You need a handshake. And I send it to you virtually. I send it to you spiritually. So, yes, honey, that's pretty much it, y'all. I hope y'all had, like I said, a great full moon. I will be coming back within the next few days. Like I said, there's a lot that I'm going to do within the next few days. So we'll be coming back. I will be doing a midnight metanoia. I just said there was 2 more. There will be 1 more because we're the dead one. And we might even do it like a grand finale. Can we do a grand finale? Oh, that'd be cute, y'all. We could do like a midnight metanoia grand finale. Oh my god! How many episodes of midnight metanoia did we do? We only did like 7 of them. Girl, 5 years and only 7 episodes. Girl, bye. Well, good thing I didn't charge y'all to do it, huh? Girl. Anyway, we're gonna do it. And there's a man I meant to know that I want to really go into that kind of potentially coincide with another situation that came across my desk. And I thought, ooh, we're going to touch in on that and we're going to get deep. I'm going to make sure that day I ain't got nothing planned. I ain't got no readings booked. I ain't got nothing to do but sit my ass up and tap in. Okay, so that's pretty much it, y'all. twospiritmystic.blogspot.com. I always get emails every so often, at least once a week, asking, do you still do readings? Do you still do spiritual work? Do you still do cleanses and all that? Yes, we do. Like I said, I know people expect it to be, and I don't know, maybe we'll put together some little mock situation or something, I don't know, to where people know that, yes, I still do it. Because of course we don't, like I said, we don't feed the enemies, honey. Or you have people that don't really contribute, but they'll have, they'll want to give their feedback on it. Well, I think you could do this a little different, do that a little different. Girl, kiss my ass. Okay? I think you do something a little different too, and you don't do it. Okay? Kiss my ass. Anyway, respectfully and vaginally. Anyway, y'all, bye for now, y'all. And like I said, you will be seeing me the next couple of days, y'all. And listen, we got a little surprise for y'all. That's it. It's going to be a little surprise, honey. Okay. Also, y'all, I'm going to be doing, let me not put that out there. We'll wait until we get the itinerary, stuff together that will come out. We'll talk about it. You know what I mean? Because they said we're doing a lot. And, I need to focus on that. So anyway, y'all, love and light. And like I say, you guys see me again soon. And as I said, honey, protect the children, protect the inner child in you. Okay. Bye for now.